Okay, sorry, my video just stopped. So let's go ahead and redo this again. So we said that we have to make it equal to 0. So therefore we would have 2x squared plus 7x minus 4, I'm sorry. So now we can simply put it in y equal and graph it and find our zeros using calculator, right? That's why we have calculator. We don't have time to answer all those 60 questions in the STAAR test, or we would get so exhausted. So use this during the test, okay? So 2x squared plus 7x subtract 4. Graph it. Okay, there you go. What am I trying to do to find? Solve it. Solving means I have to find these two zeros in there. So I will do second trace. I'm looking for 0. So I will go down, click enter. So this one, I want to find this one. So it says left bound. I'm going to move to the left side of that 0. There you go. Click enter. And then I move my point to the right side of that 0, right? Let me see if you can see it better. There you go. Now click enter. When it says guess, it means that you have to click enter again. What is my 0? -4, and that should be 0. When it gives you this crazy -1 to the power of x to the -1 times 10 to the power of -12 means 0. It's just a very little numbers. Okay, so my x is -4 for the first one, for that one. Now let's move your blinky point to this part, but we have to do second trace again. And go ahead and click on 0, click enter. Then it says left bound. I'm going to go to the left side of that 0, right? Let's just go a little bit down. Okay, there you go. Click enter. Now it says right bound. So you move your point to the right side of that 0. Click enter. It says guess. That means you have to click again. So there you go. What's your other 0? It's 0.5 or 1/2. So your other x is 0.5. Okay? Simple as that. Let's move to the next questions or subjects. It's the exponential function. We're covering the whole Algebra 1 subjects and for this review, which is so great. So exponential function happens when you have that unknown or variable on the power. That should be exponential function. And when you go ahead and click on your stat calc, you know that your linear is here, quadratic is here, but if you didn't know, which I'm sure you know, the exponential is here. Okay? So, just wanted to refresh your mind on that one. So, we read the graph from left to right. This one goes up. So it is the growth. So growth or decay, it is the growth. Horizontal asymptote for here, because you see that it's getting close to 1. So it's y equal 1, because that's the line that it will never reach, but it will approach to it. Okay? So it would be y equals 1. And then the range is all the y greater than 1. Why? Because range is your vertical line, right? It's all your y's. You see that all the y's greater than 1 is included on this graph. So the boundary for your range is all the y greater than 1. Now this one, you read it from left to right. It goes down. So this one is decay. Or decay. So horizontal asymptote for this one, you see that it's approaching to x-axis, which is the y equals 0. The equation for it is y equals 0. And the range is all the y greater than 0. Simple as that. Okay. What is the domain? It's all real numbers. What is the domain? It's all real numbers. Let's talk about how to write down your exponential equation. So over here, it says there are 170 deer on a reservation. The population is increasing by 30% each year. Write the exponential function for this situation. Well, when they're giving you something like this and you're not sure which model you have to put, which equation you have to put, you have three types of equation: linear, quadratic, and exponential. In Algebra 1, you don't have more than these three equations. If they're giving you increasing or decreasing along with percentage, always talks about exponential. So you have to put it in that form. So your initial point is 170, or your y-intercept, and then your r, or rate, or your rate would be 30%, right? But do we leave it as a 30% in an equation? No, we always change it to decimal. So that would be 0.3, right? How did I find it? 30 divided by 100, just like that, okay? And add or subtract from 1. So this one says it's increasing. So you add it from 1, or add it to 1. So it would be 1 plus 0.3, which is 1.03. I'm sorry, 1.3. What did I do? 1.3. Okay? Now, the equation therefore would be y equals your initial number, which is your y-intercept, 170 multiply 1.3 to the power of x. That is your increasing. And how we know it's increasing? Because it's more than 1. If it's greater than 1, it's increasing. You buy a new car for that much, $18,000. That's a very cheap car, I guess. The value depreciates. What does depreciate means? Decreases 12% each year. Write the exponential function for this situation. Okay, your initial number is 18,000. Your R is 12%. Your rate is 12%, which is the same as 0.12. Is it add or subtract? Because it says decreasing or depreciate, we subtract it from 1. So it would be 1 minus 0.12, which is 0.88. Am I right? If I'm wrong, just correct me later or put the correct one. I'm sure it's right. Okay. So the equation would be y equals the initial number, which is 18,000, parenthesis, that number, 0.88 to the power of x. How do I look at this one and now I know it's decreasing? It's less than 1 inside the parentheses, so it's a depreciation. So it's a decrease or decay. Okay? Let's move to next page, and the last thing we're going to talk about this algebra review. There you go. That's a great note. If your calculator freezes, second mode. Okay? Second mode. Let's do it. What is the second mode? Here. You do second mode. It will quit it. Or you can just do what? you guys do something. Second plus 712, or y equal plus, I think it's second plus 712, and it will reboot it. I'm sure all of you know it. You guys teach me that. Okay, there you go. But if it freeze, you know that you can do second mode, which means it's gonna quit. Any blue things you see on here, that means you have to click on this blue button and then click on the same these keys to be able to apply this blue words. Okay, it says if something happens to the calculator during testing, reset. Oh, there you go. I forgot that. Reset it. So second plus 712. There you go. Turn diagnostics on for any question about correlation coefficient, and then do stat. So first you go to mode, then you do stat diagnostic, on, and then enter. Then when you're doing correlation coefficient, you should see R when you do your stat. And we only care about R, not R squared. Okay, calculator matching. Given an expression with a letter, y equal y1 equal given expression y2, check answer choices. Given a square root, main screen, second x squared, and then type in a number equal to the decimal. So main screen, which is second, and then x squared, and then type. Okay. Type in number equal decimal. Or turn answers to decimal. You guys all know about these. I just wanted to have some sort of written proof that we talked about this. Okay, so calculator steps. Numeric solver is the one that you have two boxes, remember, to solve your equation. You go ahead and do math, up, enter. Remember that? We already did it for the first page. Graph, you go ahead and do y equal, right? And then table is second graph. Okay? Stat, enter for x and y, you enter your data, and then stat calc, linear or quadratic or exponential, depends which one, you click on those. So stat, and then enter. Then you go ahead and enter your data in L1 for x and L2 for y. Then you go ahead and click on a stat again, calc. Then you do number 4 for linear, number 5 for quadratic, and I'm not sure which one is for, let me just check. So stat, oh, I was just there. Stack and calc. So 0 for expo and 0 for exponential. Okay? Now, general test reminder is about some sort of domain and range and stuff like that, I guess. Okay, let's check if I can make this straight. There you go. Take your time. You aren't going anywhere, right? We're probably going to give you 4 hours to finish that test, or if you need it, more. So take your time. Don't rush it. Use your scratch and graph paper, okay? Use it. If you don't have it, ask them to give you, okay? Don't be shy during the test. This is a very important test. If you don't pass this test, you have to take it until you pass it. So let's say your senior year and you're still not passing this test, you cannot be graduate. So take your time. Don't be shy and ask for anything you need, scratch paper or graph paper, okay? Eliminate answer choices. What does that mean? Remember when we were solving answer choices, we always go ahead and find the wrong one first, the one that doesn't make sense. Eliminate that one and then choose from the one that makes sense. So these are domain and range is the one that you can use that. The slope, you can use this method. Inequality, and then axis of symmetry, and also horizontal asymptote. Okay, these are the stuff that you can eliminate answer choices. Okay, pay attention to it. You can do great. I have faith in you. I know that you guys can do great in this test. Don't worry. Take a deep breath, and you are great no matter what. Okay? So we're done reviewing Algebra 1. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this and have a great, beautiful day. Thank you. Bye-bye, kiddos.